Hello, everybody. So we are going to finish up 2 pages in this notes packet today. So I'm going to scroll on down to where we're going to be, and we're going to. This is all about the cells dividing, mitosis, and the cell cycle. And then we get into plants and how plants have 4 organs and have 2 systems. They have a root system and a shoot system. So the root system's below the ground, and the shoot system is above the ground. All right, and then yesterday I went over the digestive system and the path that the food travels until it finally exits out of the body, and then the juices that are associated with the digestive system. So today we're going to go over the other 10 systems. So 2 through 11, and then we'll stop there. Okay. All right, so I'm going to pull up that notes packet. All right, so the next one is your skeletal system. And I mean, did you guys realize that every bone is considered to be an organ? Like every bone. So your bones, and then cartilage, that's between your bones. And once again, it's kind of like the padding to kind of help reduce friction so bone isn't rubbing on bone. So, you know, people that get arthritis is because the cartilage between those bones is getting worn down. And then they have bone rubbing on bone. Then you got tendons and ligaments. Now, you guys probably know the difference between a tendon and a ligament, but a tendon is bone attaching to muscle. Like your Achilles tendon, that's in the very back. Your heel attaching up to your calf muscle. So it's your heel bone up to your calf muscle. Now, ligaments is bone attaching to bone. And usually you hear a lot of people that talk about like their ligaments in their knee, like their ACL, MCL, LCL. Let me pull a picture up. Okay, so here are some ligaments that are in your knee. And you hear a really common one is the ACL, and that's in the middle with your PCL. But your ACL is the one that tends to get tore or partially torn the most. Then you have your LCL and your MCL. So this is inside leg, this is outside leg, this is your middle. So ligaments is bone attaching to bone. All right. Oh, I had a mask on because someone stopped in the classroom to talk to me. All right, so let's move on to the major role of your skeletal system, and it is really to provide support for the body. Do you guys know that a lot of intestines and muscles attach to the bones, and there's the ones that hold them in place so they can't just wiggle and move around your body? I mean, there's a reason why your liver is on the right side of your body, of where it's positioned and stationed, by connecting up to the bones around it, like the vertebrae and the ribs. They help protect delicate internal organs, like our heart is protected by that rib cage, and provide attachment sites, like we said, for organs. So main thing is support, attachment site, and protection. All these wonderful bones. Normally we have you memorize a lot of these bones, but not this time. You're off the hook. So here is all the bones I have everybody memorize. And these are things I think are just, you should know the bones of your body, especially the major ones, and know that there's hundreds of bones, and there's just a few here, like your collarbones, your clavicle. In your arm, it's your humerus, and then your radius and your ulna. You get down here like your femur, your tibia and fibula. So just some basic bones would be awesome for you to know, but you will not see any labeling on this test. Okay, circulatory system. Big thing about your circulatory system is the organs are associated with it is your heart. Of course, the blood flowing through all your blood vessels. So when it comes to like your blood vessels, we're talking about your arteries, your veins. Arteries is what pumps blood away from the heart, and veins bring blood back to the heart. So we kind of have an idea of the major role of your circulatory system is to transport nutrients. And that's things like your glucose, your amino acids, your fatty acids, things that were broken down in your digestive system and absorbed into your blood are now going to be transported all around your body so cells can absorb them and use it. It helps transport gases. how do we get oxygen to all of our cells if our blood isn't the one that's moving it around to our body? And that's gases that we need, like oxygen, and getting carbon dioxide out of our body. It helps circulate hormones. All of the different hormones associated with the body: estrogen, testosterone, adrenaline, your pituitary hormone. All of that's going to be circulated by your circulatory system. And then finally, waste product is also pushed around the body in the blood, which is why it's so important that we have things like, if you look over here, the brain, and then you got the major arteries and veins coming away from the heart. And right here is where those kidneys would be, and right here is where your liver would be. And those are organs that help filter out the waste products out of your blood. All right, now this is just a cool, fun information, is the circulatory system is one of the first systems to develop in the body, which should make sense because in order for all your cells to start dividing and growing, you got to have the nutrients it needs to make ATP, to do gas exchange, to do cellular respiration. So it's one of the first systems that's developed. Kind of a cool looking little embryo. And I've shown you these pictures, maybe a couple of classes got them, but this is the circulatory system, all these blood vessels in the face. And you just see how many we have, because you can see the detail and the outline of our facial features. And I just got some more, this is just up close. There's larger blood vessels and there's smaller blood vessels. When you cut your finger, a little paper cut, you're rupturing one of these littler blood vessels. Cool image of a shark, once again showing how vascular we are. Now that's a really cool picture. You got to think every cell in your body has to have access to nutrients to be able to grow and divide for mitosis. So look at all these blood vessels. All right. Now I brought in the heart because I think there's some basic knowledge you should know about the heart, although you don't have to write any of this down. But your heart's got 4 chambers, 4 pockets where the blood travels. And kind of watch how this goes. It's really cool. Why the blood is blue and then the blood is red is because blue, your blood isn't really blue. Blue just represents that it's really low in oxygen. So blue is low in oxygen and red is rich in oxygen. So the blood comes to the heart, goes in the first chamber, dumps into the second chamber, and then poof, it goes out to your lungs. And when that blood goes to your lungs, then that's when it's going to get oxygen from when you breathe in. Then it comes back from the lungs, goes in the third chamber, into the fourth chamber, and then it gets pushed out to the rest of the body. And the big part of the muscle, the heart's down here. So when this part of the muscle contracts, it squeezes it and pushes all the blood where it needs to go, either to the lungs or to the whole body. So blue just means it's low in oxygen and it's got to go to the lungs and get lots of oxygen. And red symbolizes that it has lots of oxygen. It's rich in oxygen. Anyways, so there's 4 chambers. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see the bottom chambers are the biggest ones, and the top chambers are smaller. Kind of shows a little bit more of the path of flow. Blood comes in, down, goes to your lungs, comes back from your lungs, down, and then up to the rest of your body. Okay, muscular system. We've talked about this one already. You've got skeletal muscle, smooth muscle throughout the body, just the different organs. And once again, there's so many different muscles that we normally memorize that I think is good for you to know just some basic ones. There won't be anything like this on the test. You don't need to memorize any of them. I just think it'd be good information for you, but just some common ones people are familiar with, like your bicep. The full name is the biceps brachii. Your abs, it's actually called your rectus abdominis. Your pecs, that's your pectoralis major, right? So there's a lot of, there's your calf muscle, the gastrocnemius. You probably have heard about the butt muscle, the gluteus maximus. And so just some different muscles that you can look at and be familiar with. When people rub your shoulders from your back side, you're rubbing your traps, your trapezius. All right, let's move on. All right, endocrine system. This system is all about circulating hormones, and I love it's the chemical messages through the body. So if you need something to happen, like a muscle contraction or sugar to be pulled out of your bloodstream, it's these hormones that are released that are circulated throughout the body through your blood vessels that tells the body to do certain things. So it sends chemical messages. It definitely, the nervous system is what initiates it. Helps control how much of the hormones released and when the hormone's released. But once that hormone's released, it's like it tells the body it should be doing something, so then it sends a message. So these chemical messages help control physiological processes such as nutrient absorption, growth. So when do we need to take in these nutrients, either from the blood or from the digestive system? Hey, it's time to grow the cells big enough, we can divide and start mitosis. So lots of things. Endocrine, hormones. And then here is different. You've seen this picture before. People thought these were butterflies in the throat. Thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, the thymus. Anyways, adrenal glands, pancreas secretes the insulin, remember, to blood sugar. All right. Okay, lymphatic system. This is your immune system. This is what helps fight off infection. It destroys and removes invading microbes. So remember, it can do this through endocytosis, wrap around it, bring it in, break it apart through lysosomes. So it destroys and removes invading microbes and viruses from the body. It also removes fat and excess fluids from the blood. So it does help clear things out of our blood, out of our body. Okay? It kind of looks like the circulatory system. It's a bunch of tubes throughout our body. All right, nervous system. This is huge. This is like the control center, kind of like the nucleus, the control center. So it's got your brain, the spinal cord, and then all these peripheral nerves that are branching off of it. Those are the major organs. And then what in the world does it do? It sends electrical signals throughout the body. So the chemical signals is endocrine, and electrical signals is the nervous system. It directs behavior and movement along with the endocrine system. It controls physiological processes. It basically tells your body what to do, when to do it. Things like digestion, your heart pumping, that's your nervous system telling it when to pump. Here you go, pump. And pushing blood around your body. So really, really cool, but your nervous system has all of these sensory nerves that sense what's going on either internally or externally. It sends a message to the brain, and the brain processes what's going on, and then it sends the signal back to your body, and then you react. So it's cool that it's the one that does all of the processes, thinks through everything. And this just shows you the good. There's your brain, the spinal cord, and then all of these peripheral nerves. So people that are paralyzed, you could be a paraplegic, which means only 2 of your limbs don't work, and that means this part of the spinal cord would have been damaged, and then all these peripheral nerves don't work. Or you could be a quadriplegic, that means 4 limbs are paralyzed, and that means somewhere up here the spinal cord got damaged, and now this body doesn't work. So that's the bad part, is these neurons, a lot of them, they don't repair. So if you hurt them, you're in trouble. All right. Okay, respiratory system. The system, it's major organs, your nose, your trachea, and then you branch into your lungs. And its biggest job is to provide gas exchange between the blood and the environment. So it takes oxygen in and it pushes carbon dioxide out. Okay, so now the male and female reproductive system. So the major organs related to the female, so you got your ovaries, the oviducts, uterus, vagina, mammary glands. And then for the male, you got the testes, seminal vesicle, the penis, just general organs associated with the reproductive system. But let's talk about what the major role is. And it really, we have an idea. It is to make sperm for the male and eggs for the female. That way, it could create a new individual. Okay, urinary system. This is what filters out cellular waste and toxins and excess water from nutrients. So it filters things out of your body.